Make it quick.
You seem nice. I hate to kill you.
Kill me? You can try.
What's up guys, I'm Colin for theScore eSports. You might know me from other series like Top 10, Best of, and Story of. And that guy back there in the plaid, that's Sean Wetselaar.
Hi.
Now you don't need to know who he is. All you need to know is that he is the Office League of Legends expert, and lately he's become fucking insufferable. Specifically when it comes to Yasuo, the Unforgiven. See, he's a champion we've seen picked a lot in the LCS recently, and frankly, I'm just over it. In fact, when it comes to blade-wielding, brother-hating esports characters, I'll take Genji from Overwatch any day of the week. In other words, I think Genji could kick Yasuo's ass. Now Sean disagrees. That's where the guy next to him comes in. His name is Christian. Now Christian is an animator, and he's gonna make this happen in an animated arena of death. Now without further bullshit, let's just get on with it, because I think this is gonna be a quick KO for your boy Genji.
Be quick about it.
So Colin, Yasuo, he's a wandering...
You know what, Sean, if you don't mind, I'd actually like to go first and talk a little about Genji. You see, what you're dealing with when it comes to Genji is an elite level ninja who's been cybernetically enhanced to have superhuman speed, strength, agility. He's got double jumping, and he's probably, in fact, he is the reincarnation of a dragon god. First up, we've got Genji's primary fire. Like any ninja worth his weight, Genji can launch an oppressive wave of shurikens. He can toss 3 deadly throwing stars in quick succession. Next up is his swift strike ability. Genji travels 15 meters forward using a smaller blade to pass through an opponent and gut them like a fish. With lightning quick swipes of his wakizashi, Genji uses his deflect ability to deflect and reflect oncoming projectiles and sends them rebounding towards his opponent. Now for his ult, Dragon Blade. Genji pulls out a possibly magical dragon-imbued katana for 6 seconds. During this time, he can deliver killing strikes to any targets within his reach.
All right, Colin, is it my turn? Yeah? Okay, great. Because that's all fine and well, but let's talk about the winning character. Yasuo, the Unforgiven, is a wandering Ionian swordsman. After learning the way of the sword and the legendary wind technique, he was falsely accused of killing his master, forcing him to flee and eventually kill his brother in self-defense. Since then, he's pretty much just been traveling and consuming a copious amount of alcohol, but that doesn't mean he won't be able to rip Genji to shreds. You probably already know Yasuo's abilities. He's got a passive shield that charges up the more he moves. He's got a mid-ranged poke with his Steel Tempest that shoots out a tornado every 3rd strike. He has an infuriating dash that is on an incredibly short cooldown, and even more irritating than that, he has his Wind Wall, which will block any projectile in the game. And if he hits you with his tornado or otherwise catches you knocked up, it's time for his ultimate Last Breath.
So what you're telling me is Yasuo is essentially a wandering drunk. I'm already shaking. Now listen, this argument is gonna be over before it even started because Genji has one very specific thing that Yasuo does not, and that is range. I already told you he's got shurikens, right? A lot of them. Rapid succession, low cooldown. Correct me if I'm wrong here, but I don't think Yasuo has any projectiles. Genji also has a little thing called cyber agility. It's his passive, Sean, and it means he's gonna be flipping around like crazy, throwing shurikens, and turning Yasuo into a pin-cushioned, bloody stump. You can cut the tape right there if you want.
Well, Colin, I will correct you, and you are wrong, because that's not how it would happen at all. If you've already forgotten, Yasuo has a passive shield that regenerates the more he moves. And forgetting that, he has Wind Wall. Wind Wall is going to stop all of these projectiles. What few manage to actually hit Yasuo are just going to tickle by the time they've broken through the shield. And putting all that aside, how is Genji even going to get on Yasuo? He can dash way more frequently than Genji, and his Steel Tempest has more range than Genji's melee options. The person with the range advantage is not Genji, it's Yasuo.
Scurry back to your shadows, ninja.
A wall of wind, Sean? A wall of wind. Not exactly the most intimidating ability I've ever heard of. Now, Genji, with his cyber ability, his double jump, is a very vertical character. Unless the wall goes to space, it's not gonna do shit to him. He's gonna go around it, he's gonna go over it. Now, I grant you, it'll stop the throwing stars. That's only the beginning of Genji's kit. Now, you mentioned Steel Tempest. I did my research, and you gotta hit that twice to get your little tornado. And with cyber agility online, you ain't hitting Genji once.
The advantage is mine.
Well, that's cute, Colin, but I've got one word for you that every League of Legends player knows: stopwatch. Yasuo is always going to build toward a Guardian Angel. Do you think you're the first person that thought you could burst him down? And you think the tornado is not even going to hit? You clearly haven't played enough League. The tornado is always eventually going to hit you. You can't outlast it forever. And once Genji's knocked up and crowd controlled, he's a ninja. He'll be as easy to slice into as a succulent piece of Japanese cheesecake.
One blade, one purpose.
Really, Sean, the fucking stopwatch? Thought we were done with this meta. But you know what, it doesn't matter, because I did my research and stopwatch lasts for 2.5 seconds. You know what lasts for more than that? Genji's ult, Dragon Blade. Now here's what's gonna happen. Genji throws those shurikens. They hit the wind wall. They fall down. No big deal. Look in the sky. Genji has double jumped, swift strike dashed into the air. He unleashes the power of a dragon god and ults Yasuo. Now Yasuo pops his little stopwatch item. 2.5 seconds go by in the blink of an eye, and then he gets chopped to pure sushi.
Like cutting through silk.
Okay. First of all, we don't know if there's a dragon god inside of Genji. Stop bringing that up. You have no idea. I have no idea. But I'm really happy that you went back to this double jump, swift strike nonsense, because it seems to me that Overwatch players think being in the air is an advantage. But Christian, you're animating this. We've got Genji right up in there in the sky, right? Yeah, okay, that's awesome, because let's go back to Yasuo's ult. It only hits targets in one place, right there. It doesn't matter if I hit you with a tornado or not. Genji is going to do my work for me. It's last breath time.
Need healing.
Ninjas. I hate those guys.
Oh shit, Sean, I gotta give it to you. Yasuo won that fair and square. Congratulations to the Unforgiven. I never liked Genji anyway. But you know what a real Overwatch character is? A real Shimada man? Hanzo. And I reckon he could beat any League of Legends archer you can throw at him. Say Ashe, for example. I'm gonna shut this guy up, trust me.
You are so full of shit.
Thanks for watching. If you want more great content just like this, be sure to hit the subscribe button.